Okay, this is 3.3 homework, linear functions and models. And so the idea behind this assignment is that we want to use a table and our calculator to find the equation of a line that will best fit this data. So it says let the amount a person pays in yearly taxes, T, in dollars, be a function of their yearly salary, S, in dollars. Suppose we have the following data. So on the left, we have our input, which is our yearly salary, and on the right, we have our output, which is the taxes we pay each year. So the first thing we want to do is plot the data. So to do this, you hit the Stat button on your calculator, then hit Enter on Edit, and you can clear these out. So clear, Enter, if you have data in there, clear, Enter. All right, and then you want to put in the input, so 17,000, and 20,000, 23,000, 30,000, and 35,000. Right, then hit over and put in the output, so 4,017, 5,512, 6,033, 8,205, and 9,477. Once you put in the data, right, check it to make sure you didn't make any mistakes. All right, so that looks good. And we want to plot the data. So once the data is into our calculator, we can go up to y equals and hit up and turn plot one on, and hit down, make sure it's highlighted, and then to get a nice plot, you're going to hit zoom and go to zoom stat. And zoom stat gives me this nice looking plot, and then I can draw it here. Right, so here's my vertical, here's my horizontal. I have these little rectangular boxes. Right, so approximate it the best that you can. And you can label these things. Right, so you have 17K, 20K, 23K, that was 30K, and that was 35. You should probably write down here, this is the your salary, so salary S in dollars. And on the output, this is tax, T, in dollars. We can write down here the smallest value, which you can see is about 4,000. So smallest value is about 4,000. And then the largest value is about 9,500. So let's put about 9,500 up here. And we can label this table, make up a name like yearly taxes. That looks good. All right. In part B, it says use linear regression to find a linear function that will model t as a function of s, so the amount of tax you pay is a function of your salary, and graph this function on your plot above. Round your regression parameters to 2 decimal places. All right, so to find a linear model, a linear function, you're going to use linear regression. So you hit Stat, go over to Calculate, go down to linreg, which stands for linear regression, hit Enter again, and out pops my answer. And so now the output they use here, the letter they use here is y. I'm going to use t, so I can say t, the taxes I pay, a function of s, is equal to, and then I have 0.29 around this at 2 decimal places. That's what this fancy statement says. Round regression parameters to 2 decimal places. So 0.29. It says times x, but my input is the letter s, so 0.29s, and then plus b, which is a negative. All right, so I'm going to use minus. All right, so then minus $694.43. And then I want to plot this on this plot here, and so I can just hit y equals and plug it in my calculator. So 0.29, and I don't have an S button, so I use an X minus 694.43. Hit the graph, and you should see a nice looking line going through there. So, and I'll try to make this look as much like this as possible. So it's kind of going like that. Okay, in part C, it says use the model to estimate the deductible. It says the deductible here is the amount given back to you after you are taxed. All right, so there's two numbers here. There's a 0.29 and a negative $694.43. Remember, this is the slope, right, and this is really the initial value. So this negative, that's how much you're given back. And so here I'd write $694.43. The 0.29, right, is actually part D. It says use the model to predict the overall percentage rate of taxation. Right, so this 0.29 percentage-wise is 29%. The idea is for each dollar in salary, you have to pay basically 29 cents on that dollar, but they're going to give you back up to $694.43.